Great morning, great morning, great morning. It is Tuesday morning, 8 o'clock. And if it's 8 o'clock on Tuesday morning, you know what time it is. The It's About You radio show here, hosted by me, none other than Maurice McDonald. And I want to say, as always, it's an honor and privilege and a great opportunity to share some amazing information, to have this platform. I don't take it lightly, I don't take it for granted. I'm truly blessed for this platform to share some amazing information designed to help you to be the best person you can possibly be. Also, to help you come out of your comfort zone, to hopefully to get into your ears and into your heart and into your legs, to help you move and go do the great things you are created to do. And because it's Tuesday morning, I know there's someone is in the shower, somebody's driving in the car, someone's having breakfast, or someone's in the office, or someone is lying around listening to this morning because they love to hear the show. And I appreciate you. I value you. And I want you to know, because it is Tuesday morning, this show will be something I think that can open some ears because, we're here at the end of the year. And I want to share some amazing information with you today. And I think I need to start with my morning quote of the day as usual. My morning quote of the day by Helen Keller. It says, "Never bend your head, hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye." That's by Helen Keller. And let me go ahead. I believe that is begging for something to finish with on the end of this. And I believe truly when it says, "Never bend your head, hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye." And I want to say, not only look the world straight in the eye, look the world straight in the eye and say, "I will survive." Look the world straight in the eye and says, "I won't quit." Look the world straight in the eye and say, "Listen, I'm not done. I may have gotten knocked down, but I'm getting back up. I may have gotten pushed down, but I'm getting back up. I may have had a temporary setback, but I'm getting back up. I may have lost temporarily, but with the help of my Creator, the help of my God, I will make it." I want you to put your finish on that quote. I found this quote and it just spoke straight to me. And I want you to think about it. Listen to it again. Never bend your head. Hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye and tell the world, "Is that all you got? Is that the best you can do? You thought you had me? You thought I would fold like a cheap suit? You thought I would just rip apart like a cheap tent? No, that all you got? Listen, I had a temporary setback, but like that Willie Jolly Willie Jolly's book that says a setback is a setup for a comeback." So you look the world in the eye and you say what needs to finish the sentence because it says, "Never bend your head, hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye." And sometimes you got to give the world a black eye. Hello. Sometimes you got to take it by force. Sometimes you got to be violent with it. You got to tell the enemy that I was created for greatness. You got to tell the haters, "Hey, listen, that's your job to hate, but my job is to shake it off." You look the world straight in the eye and say, "I got this. I was created for this. I was born for greatness. I'm not going to sit in the corner and cry. I cried today, but I'm getting up off my knees and I'm going to not cry anymore. And I'm going to take this by force. I'm going to take back what the enemy tried to take from me." So you decide today, you decide what you need to put behind that quote. Because everybody got something you need to put behind that quote of the day. Never bend your head, hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye. Oh, Helen Keller. That was a good one right there, guys. That one could be a whole show by itself. But this morning quote today is brought to you by MauriceMcDonald.net. MauriceMcDonald.net. Go there and learn about your amazing gut microbiome and go and get your amazing supplement, P84 and Protandem, that can help you guys get things right in your life because all disease begins in the gut. Again, MauriceMcDonald.net, MauriceMcDonald.net. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an amazing year for me. We are here now approaching our last Tuesday of the year 2025, and it could be the last day of the year. It could be whatever it may be, but I want you to listen to what I'm talking about today, because I was so many times I believe my Creator, my God, will speak to me as I not audibly all the time, but sometimes I'll be driving, I'll be reading something, or I'll be at a something, an event or whatever, and it's like a transformation or a transference of knowledge just comes right to me, and I know it's not necessarily from me, but I know my Creator when my Creator is speaking to me, and I was at a homegoing celebration of one of my amazing students. And let me just go ahead and say this for those of you who are listening to me for the very first time or the 20th time. My background has been in law enforcement, professional school counselor, and also college professor. So I've been sharing and serving people for 4 decades, and I've come across some amazing people, and somebody that I can say that's like a little brother to me transitioned. And that's always a sad time, and usually it's a time to reflect that if I could just have one more conversation with them, and I would, what I would do differently and what I would say, those types of things. Where I was at his homegoing celebration, and while there, the minister made some statements that just resonated with me, and while listening to it, I decided I know what I want to talk about today. And since this is near the end of the year, people always make New Year's resolutions and all those good things. We're not going to be talking about things like that. But I thought about, how you finish things. A lot of times we always talking about starting, how you start something. And the starting point is really powerful. And understanding that finishing strong is beautiful. Learning how to finish. So I wanted to talk about 12 powerful ways to finish strong what you started. Whether it's a project or a goal or a personal mission, how you started, how you finish is important. And I want to talk a little bit about your why. Reconnecting with your why. Why are you doing something? What is that whole point? You see, many of you've heard this statement. I know my mentor said it to me many times, and it was, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. Let me say that again for the folks in the back room. If your why doesn't make you cry, it is not big enough, not large enough. Remind yourself why you started in the first place. Revisit your purpose to reignite motivation and clarity. You have come this far, 12 months. You're in the 12th month of the year at this point. You might want to take a look at, revisit the why. What is it you tried to accomplish this year? Were you just existing? Were you laser focused on what you wanted to accomplish? You see, there's one thing to be focused on something, but are you laser focused on what it is that you need to work on? And so take a look at it. If you didn't have any goals this year, were you just kicking it, as young people say? I'm just kicking it. I'm just living day by day. Man, it's amazing how I can meet some of the men from time to time you hadn't seen in a while, and you ask them a question. Hey, brother, what's going on? That's the question you might ask. Nothing much, man. I'm just working hard every day, trying to make it, and it sounds like a blues song as they come up with, if it ain't one thing, it's another, just working hard, poor man trying to make it, all the things, all those kinds of things I hear people say. And it sounds so mundane. It sounds so average. It sounds so plain. And oftentimes you have to reconnect with your why because you might not have a why. And it sounds like that. I'm just making it day by day, working hard to pay bills and all this kind of stuff. And you sound like I'm just average and mediocre, just trying to make it through. So sometimes it's important to reconnect with your why. So I ask you today to take a look at your why. And that why, I'm talking about WHY. Reconnect with your why. If you don't have a why, let me talk to the people who don't have a why. Get one. If you've existed the last 12 months and you're still the same, and you were the same 12 months before then, and 12 months before that, you've gone through 36 months and you still don't have a why. You see, you were created for purpose. We all were created for purpose. And the major part of life, you've heard this, some of you may have, if not others, let me be the person to introduce you to this, is the greatest day in your life, or a good day in your life, was the day you were born. And the greatest day in your life was when you discovered why you were born. Because there's a part to where you are born and a time to die. And as in my friend's homegoing ceremony, that part came to an end. But it's a new beginning, a different beginning, but that's a different topic for another day. But the idea of it is the dash. You see, you're born on one day. Sometimes they call it sunrise. And then, of course, sunset means life is over as you know it. And people may grieve and miss you. But the dash is what we're living. That dash in between, that is always a dash. So during that dash, this year, we're still living. You know, one of the famous quotes I remember from the movie Shawshank Redemption with Morgan Freeman, there was a statement in there that was said by one of the characters in there by the name of Red in the movie. It says, "Get busy living or get busy dying." We have to get busy living and recognize I got to reconnect with my why. If you have a why, if you have that purpose, by all means, that's fine. And if you don't have one, I encourage you to take the time out right now, not tomorrow, because it's not promised, right now, and develop a why. What is it? Why am I here? If you go back to the quote, that said, "Never bend your head, hold it high, look the world straight in the eye," and then you finish. I'm going to get a new why. I'm going to get my first why. I've just been kicking it through my life. I've just been existing. Maybe I need to plant my flag in the ground. Somebody needs to hear this. Plant your flag in the ground. Stand 10 toes down on principle and say, I'm going to develop a why. I need to figure out what I'm doing. As the minister said in the homegoing ceremony, that my friend Harold was 50 years old and going back to school. He had been always trying to help people. Maybe your why is you need to start helping more people. Maybe your why is you need to help enough people. Maybe your why is you need to get your focus back and putting your efforts and your eyesight on helping other people. Maybe that could be your why. Maybe you need to start volunteering in your place of worship. Perhaps you need to, number one, start going to a place of worship. Hello. So whatever it is that you're going through, because some of the struggles you have been handling in your life, or should I say the struggles you've been going through in your life, is because you have not been serving enough people. Because Zig Ziglar, powerful man of God, said many years ago, he said, if you help enough people get what they want, you will automatically get what you want. And sometimes your why has been you've been focusing only on yourself. You've had a selfish attitude about things. Oh yeah, okay. I know you want me to get off this first point of recognizing your why. So that could be your main point you need to focus on. Point 2, break it down. You know, break it down, meaning divide your remaining work into smaller, achievable steps. This prevents being overwhelmed and gives you a clear daily target. You see, oftentimes we always look at the big picture. For example, when people mention going back to school or doing something, oh, I'm too old, I'm too tired, the word too comes out. I'm too this. I am too busy to go back to school. As my student said to me, her uncle told her, I need you to stop being busy and start being productive. Oh, let me pause right there because somebody needs to hear this. I want you to understand busy does not equate productivity. Because you're busy, you could be busy doing nothing, watching TV, busy wasting time, busy listening, busy complaining about what's going on in the world, busy complaining about politics, busy complaining about your supervisor on your job. I hate this job. You're busy complaining, yet that job is a source of food, source of income to buy food or to pay your bills comes through that part. And yet all you can focus on is how bad you hate it. So break things down in small portions, achievable steps. Revisit your steps this past year. Evaluate. Let's break things down in small pieces. Number 1, how much time did you waste this year? Yeah. How much time did you waste by having a bad attitude or by making excuses? Whatever it is, break it down, reevaluate it, do an assessment on what's happened, what perhaps you could have done differently. We're not talking about living in the sea of regret or just plain just regretting some things because the mistakes are part of the process. Oh, let me say that again. I think I can say that one more time. Mistakes are a part of the process. And the process is necessary. Yes, the setbacks, the mistakes, whatever you said or didn't do. Hey, it's like riding a bicycle. You see, you have training wheels. Training wheels are just designed to get you acclimated because you're new to this endeavor of riding a bike. But if you put that in the terms of your life, you may be new into something and you need training wheels to help you get your balance together. And then, of course, once you learn to try to get your balance, the real balance test comes in when you take the training wheels off. And some of you right now, if you break it down smaller and smaller portions, your training wheels have been on too long. You see, when you start riding a bicycle, you cannot have that person learning to ride a bicycle, and normally it's a child. You can't be riding on training wheels for 6 months. Before then, once they're riding pretty good, you got to take the training wheels off. And then there's some uncertainty, but until you figure it out, you got to break it down by pedaling faster, holding it up. And the faster you go, you can start to develop your balance a little bit. Being consistent, one leg in front of the other, one leg pedaling, left, right. And then you get your balance. And now you get the hang of it. Well, see, the same thing happens. Getting your balance in whatever it is you should be accomplishing in life, the goals you have set. Set the small goals first. Stop setting those large goals right away. You want the small ones first. You may have an end goal. Yes, you have an end goal, some results you would like to happen. But I'm encouraging you to take the small goals first. Break it down in small portions first. Acceptable portions. Realistic. We call them SMART goals in the education world. We call them SMART goals. And obviously, that you have to have some specific goals that you're going to have. You start with the smart one. Smart goals. They got to be measurable. Absolutely. Obtainable, guys. Realistic. And then put a time frame on it. That spells out smart. Set the SMART goals. Break it down a little bit. What's been happening? Let me do this assessment this year. What did I accomplish? Did I even set a goal to accomplish anything? And for those of you just coming on, just listening, you're listening to the It's About You radio show here on WDRB Media, the Voice of the Community. And we're talking about finishing strong. 12 ways to finish strong what you started this year. Things that you wanted to accomplish. And so it is important. The first one was reconnect with your why. Why you had the goal. Whatever it is, and I said, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. Number 2, I said, break it down. Break it down. And sometimes in those small pieces. Number 3, set a clear finish line. Oh my goodness. You see, when you begin something, you begin with the end in mind. And that's coming straight out of Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I highly recommend you add that to your reading list. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And the idea was, it talked about set a clear finish line. And one of the 7 habits is begin with the end in mind. When you start something, you got to see yourself at the finish line. When I have students that come to talk to me about coming back to school, they're planning on getting their degree. They start usually with their mistakes from the past, and I'm too old. I've got this, in the past. I'm a convicted felon. I'm in recovery from a substance abuse, and I've been incarcerated. I was a teenage mom. They start by looking in their rearview mirrors, because most cars have 3 rearview mirrors, one in front of you inside the automobile, and one on each side of the doors of the vehicle, designed for you to glance. Come on, guys, catch this. Glance at your past, or glance at what's behind you. Hello, because what's behind you is important, because that's part of our life. That's part of our past. That's part of our trails that we have been through. The ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, the turns, and the knockdowns, and the get back up, and all that stuff, glancing. But the bigger picture is, look at the windshield. Your windshield is a larger glass. It's a larger, because that's the future. That's where you're headed. And so it is important to set clear finish line, to set that, to make sure that you have a clear finish line. Define exactly what does that look like. You see, you just can't have, just no plans to make it, just be, ambiguous with it. You can't, because it leads to procrastination. Hello. If you don't set that clear goal, you will procrastinate. And one of the greatest, or should I say, one of the worst nations to live in is procrastination. Procrastination. I'll do it tomorrow. See, clarity drives completion. Clarity drives completion. You will have completion when there's clarity. You see, you can't operate in chaos. And by the way, let me pause right here. If you are living in chaos, that could be the reason why you're not accomplishing things. You're living in chaos. Everything around you is just in a state of confusion. Chaos. Where there's chaos, you will find confusion. So if you set a clear finish line and say to yourself, hey, and by the way, when you get close to the finish line, what you should not do is sit and complain, or slow up, or stop to look at your competition behind you. Oh my goodness. Because oftentimes people will be looking backwards at what somebody else is doing, and you are not laser focused on your purpose. You're not laser focused on what you need to be in. You're not staying in your lane, and you're looking around and you don't have a clear set finish line. And I never see sprinters in the track and field arena in that sport. I never see them slow down. I never see the swimmers in the Olympics stop stroking to look over at their competition and see what they're doing. No, they're laser focused. They don't even know. And matter of fact, they're running their race. Matter of fact, I don't care where you're going. It ain't over till I win. It ain't over till I finish. I'm gonna be laser focused on what I need to do to accomplish this, because I'm gonna set clear finish line. The thing of it is, some people may say, well, this year is over. No, when you get close to the finish line, that's when you're supposed to lean in. That's where listen, your goal is to lean in across the finish line. Finish strong. Don't finish weak. You must continue. Be strong, taking this to the next level to be able to say, yes, I finished the race. I can define exactly what I've done. I know what it looks like. I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm going to have clear clarity, looking back on January and February, all the way through the year, what I accomplished. And that is an amazing part. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Your body is the most advanced operating system in the world. Every day, trillions of cells run millions of processes at once. Over time, it can start to slow down due to stress, poor sleep, diet, environmental stressors. It can feel overwhelming. Suddenly, you feel the lag. Brain fog, low energy, poor digestion, slower recovery. That's your system struggling to keep up. What if, instead, you could give yourself an edge to tackle what the day has in store? From the creators of the world's most powerful activation products comes Healthy Edge. Healthy Edge starts with Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. It reduces oxidative stress by up to 40% in 30 days by activating your natural cellular defense system to help your body make its own antioxidants that are 1,000,000 times more powerful than any you could ever take. The other half of Healthy Edge is P84. Using the right amount of whole food ingredients, probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics, and digestive enzymes, P84 activates the master peptides in your gut that help regulate, repair, and restore balance, going beyond supplementation. On their own, each activator is powerful. Together, they help you feel unstoppable. NRF2 Synergizer is your defense. P84 is your offense. And when they work as one, you don't just keep up, you stay ahead of everything life throws your way. Want to level up your activation? Check out our other activator products and learn about sharing these life-changing products to start a healthy side business. Take back your day with Healthy Edge.
To learn more about Healthy Edge, simply go to mauricemcdonald.net. That's MauriceMcDonald.net. Again, mauricemcdonald.net to learn about the Healthy Edge and take back your day. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the It's About You radio show on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. I'm your host, Maurice McDonald, and we just finished the first segment talking about, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about 12 powerful ways to finish strong, ladies and gentlemen, because we're getting here at the end of the year and a chance to take a look at the year in perspective. From time to time, you have to look at the different seasons. We started out, of course, in January, still in the winter months, and we moved to spring, summer, fall, and now here we are winding down a year. And we've been talking about the first part, reconnecting with your why. Understand and remind yourself what your why is. We talked about if you don't have a why, if it's not large enough, if it doesn't make you cry, it is not large enough. We talk about revisit your purpose to reignite your motivation. Secondly, we talked about break it down into small parts to do the assessment on what's going on. And then we finished up just a moment ago talking about setting clear finish line. How do you know if you don't know where you're going? How will you know when you have arrived? Hello. That's important for us to understand. And let's talk about number 4. We'll pick up number 4 is focus on progress, not perfection. Oh my goodness. Focus on progress. Don't focus on perfection. Oftentimes we were raised by family members or significant others in our lives who wanted you to be perfect, get all straight A's and do all these, and nobody is perfect. So if you're the kind of person listening to this and you've been trying to get your children to be perfect in school because it's going to make you look good because you didn't do well in school growing up, but I want you to know there are a lot of successful people that make B's and C's. Hello, that part. So we're not going to focus on perfection, but we are going to focus on progress. You see, aim for excellence. I'm not telling you to aim low. Excellent. Give me your best. If your best you have is a B, if your best you have is that, give me the best. Give yourself the best. Give your creator the best. Give the people you look up to the best. Give the people that support you your best. If your best is a C in school, be proud of the C. Give me the best. So I want to clearly say this. In the past 12 months, if you've been focused on perfection and you have not achieved it yet, therein lies your problem. You are not perfect. And when the first time there's a setback, you fall apart because you want perfection. No, you want progress. Focus on progress. Aim for excellence, not, flawlessness. Flawlessness is not the goal. You want to be, there are some flawed people. Hello. Matter of fact, the creator can use flawed people. People with flaws. Hey, that's my tribe. I want you to find your tribe. You see, there's a group of people running around here, a tribe of people trying to be perfect. And they're in recovery now. They got issues. They're drinking more because they're trying to be perfect. And every time they make a mistake, they don't give themselves grace. They focus only on, I've let the world down. I wasn't perfect. And they're looking for perfect people. And they can't find any. And the people, when they do get together, yes, they can form their own group. And there's a group of confusion there. Because the moment you think you're perfect, there's going to be a problem. So perfection is often the biggest obstacle to finishing strong. Yeah, trying to be perfect because you made several mistakes, because the project you were working on did not finish in the time limit you thought it should. You see, this reminds me of the famous story of two brothers who were chemists and those works in science field. And many, many years ago, they came across an opportunity to develop a cleaner. And they wanted to get this formula right. And they kept working with the formula. And on the 409th time, they got it right. They came up with it. So they named it Formula 409. Now, I heard some of you just now, I heard you think or heard you say out loud, wow, they got it wrong 408 times. I would have quit. I no way I would have made it that, but I would. That's part of your problem right there. You're quitting. Let me talk to the quitters. Stop it. Stop quitting. Because oftentimes there's another powerful book that I want you to read. It is called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich. So if you've ever wanted to be rich and you hadn't read that book, there's a clue. Think and Grow Rich. Now, you're going to be surprised. It's not all about money. But that book is so powerful. And one of the things they talk about in that book in Think and Grow Rich, the idea of being laser focused on what you want to do. And there's a part that they talk about how so many people quit right at the point of success, right at your victory, right at your winning point. You quit. As a former athlete and everything else in coaching, I don't want players who don't have a winning attitude. I want players, number one, who are teachable, coachable, but above all things, quitting is not an option. Quitting is not an option. I don't care what the odds are. This is the David and Goliath mentality. Because in the natural, David did not have a chance. Those of you who read that biblical story. In his natural ability, it looked like, how will this little boy beat or slay this giant that grown men were afraid of? Well, understand this. First of all, David knew who he was, and he knew whose he was. He had a high faith. He had a high belief system. He knew, and all I got is these smooth stones and a slingshot. Yeah. And so sometime in life, you got to look at your smooth stones you have that the Creator has given you. You got to look at what you have in your hands, the ability to go out here and get it done, to be able to go through this and focus on the progress you've made. And sometimes, I said before, perfectionism is often the biggest obstacle to finishing strong. Finishing the year out strong, all the way through. Deadlines, get through them. Push, keep going. Find your good support system. Look back on those people that's been in your corner. The people who've been supporting you. The people who've been telling you you can do this. That's the lane you got to stay in. Don't get in that lane of people of the doubters. You get in that lane and stay there and finish strong. Focus on progress, not perfection. Now, number 5, let's just talk about this. Prioritize your relentlessness. Prioritize the fact that, that you must be ruthless. Be ruthless. Eliminate or delegate distractions that don't push you toward your end goal. Think about all of the distractions. You got to be relentless, guys. Prioritize, think relentless. Doing that assessment, go back and look and say, okay, where did I get distracted? I need to tell that distraction and get out of the way. Push through this whole point. And that is important. Prioritizing, being ruthless. Because sometimes you got to take things by force. Now, I'm not talking about stealing from anybody or hurting anybody. I'm talking about sometimes you got to be in your mindset that I got to push through no matter what happened, no matter what it looks like. I'm going to prioritize and be, relentless so that I can get that goal. I can accomplish it without making excuses, without having a pity party, without talking about, well, I'm too young, I'm too old, or I'm African American and white people not going to give me this and I can't do this, or I'm a female and I can't do this, or listen, whatever it is, you got to have this relentless attitude, be ruthless. I don't care what the odds are. You be the first. Nobody's ever done it before. How am I going to be able to go back to school? I always wanted to, I've been cooking for years and I've always wanted to have my own restaurant or my own food truck. I want to go back to school and learn some more skills. I got the natural skills I got, but I want to make my game better. I want to go back to school. I'm going to go to culinary. I'm going to go to learn this. I always want to be a mechanic. I always wanted to be a hairstylist or a barber or both. I always wanted, whatever it is you always wanted to do, but because nobody else has ever done it in your family. Hello. Because nobody in your family's been down that road and you've been listening to people telling you you can't do it. You the black sheep of the family. With all them kids you got, you need to be, all those children you have, you should be taking care of your kids. Don't waste your time going back to school. You're 50 years old. You're 35 years old. You're 60 years old. At your age, oh my goodness, if I was you, I wouldn't be. All those people, they mean well, but I need you to get a ruthless attitude and say, I don't care what the naysayers say. I don't care what the people who don't have the same dream that I have. They don't have the same goals I've had. This has been a burning desire in me for 20 years, and I haven't accomplished it yet. And now you can look back at this year and you started now. And you've been listening to the wrong people. I need you to turn their volume down or turn their volume up so loud you can't hear them. Ooh, that's a good one right there. Turn the volume up. I need you to start listening to the right station. I need you to start listening to affirmations. You can go to YouTube and listen, type in positive daily affirmations, and you will hear them repeatedly. Something I do every day. Listen to affirmations. I will succeed, not I need to succeed. By the way, let me go ahead and get this clearly. Take this into your next year. Do not ever say what you need to do. Because when you say what you need to do, you're making an excuse in case you don't make it. It's like you want to put a mattress down so you can land softly. Well, at least I tried. No, stop saying you need to lose weight. I will lose weight. I need to clean my house up. No, I will clean my house up. Get laser focused about it. Put will instead of need. Because anybody that says, oh, I'm going to try to make it, they're not coming. You invite them to something and they say, I'm going to try to make it. They are not coming. Guaranteed. I'm standing 10 toes on it. Because some of you said it. I'm going to try to make it and you knew you weren't coming. I need to lose weight as you stop and get 15 donuts. Oh, I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, I need to quit drinking as you are pouring your next drink. It's about what you say, what comes out of your mouth, what you hear coming out of your mouth. You need to prioritize and be, ruthless in accomplishing your goals. And this is all part of, if you're just listening, we're talking about 12 powerful ways to finish strong. How to finish strong. And this is inspired because we're approaching the end of the year and realizing that you can reevaluate, do an assessment on what's been happening this year, what you've accomplished. And if you've been on track accomplishing things that you have set out to do, hey, listen, give yourself a pat on the back. Hey, look in the mirror and say, I'm finishing strong. I got this. I'm on task. I'm on this journey, and I'm going to stay on this journey. I'm going to be laser focused on what I need to do. And that is so important for you to understand. Now, my next point is create momentum with daily wins. Create momentum with daily wins. You're finishing out the year. You still got some more. It's not over. It's not over. And I need for you to sit back and create some momentum. You see, momentum is powerful. I tell students who are about to finish getting their degree and their plan is to go on to a higher level and learn some more. And just when they're finishing their first degree, I'm going to take a year off. And I say absolutely not. Unless you absolutely have to because of health reasons or whatever. Did you have some things going on in your life? You may be going through a bad divorce, or you've had some health challenges and that you take maybe 6 months off. Don't tell yourself, I'm going to take a year. Because once you break the momentum, you stop the momentum, you now have to, it takes more effort to get started than it does to continue. You see, when the ball is rolling downhill, gravity will take the rest of the way. Once you pushed it, it'll keep rolling because it's going downhill. Momentum. Now, it took you a lot of effort to get up that hill. Now you've gotten to the top, but you haven't accomplished everything you want to accomplish. Now going downhill is the momentum now. And don't stop it on top, because now you got to get the momentum again. So What I'm saying is create some momentum with daily wins. Commit, to small, consistent actions, ladies and gentlemen. Small, consistent actions. A little progress every day compounds into a strong finish. You see, that part, and by the way, let me go ahead and say that with you right now, because I've started this 5 a.m. club, getting up and walking in the morning, getting it over the way. I've got a coach. I've got a personal trainer, ladies and gentlemen. And idea, as he says, get up in the morning, get your steps in. So no matter what happens the rest of the day, you start the day off by winning. It's kind of like the Army says, we do more by 9 a.m. than most people do all day. It's that idea of being consistent. Create momentum with daily wins. Commit to the small, consistent actions. What little thing can I do over time that I can start with little progress every day, compounds into a strong finish? Stop looking at taking things a month at a time. No. How about let's take this? That's like someone who's in recovery, someone who is an alcoholic, and they've made the decision that they want to stop. They're going to stop. They plant their flag in the ground. As a matter of fact, now, for those of you listening, and somebody says, well, I know somebody that relapsed. That's part of the process, ladies and gentlemen. They fall down and get back up. There's a song that says, we fall down, but the rest of that story, but we get up. And so when you fall down and you continue to get up, you start with little daily. That alcoholic, they're taking it one moment at a time. They're not even taking it one day at a time, one moment at a time. So you hear people they've been clean for 30 days, and you listen to how proud they are. And oftentimes people who don't understand the process, it's a big deal. I've never been addicted. So what's the big deal? It's a big deal. I want you to pick your addiction. The soft drinks, the cigarettes, to whatever you do that's an addiction, and then just stop it and see how quickly you bounce back. It's a struggle. If you got an addiction to sugar, you got to eat everything sweet. Go a whole day without it. Go 2 days without it. 30 days without it, you'll be saying, oh my goodness, I can't. First of all, your body's going to feel better. But either way, I just want you to understand that you don't give up on things. And as you go through the process and you see that whole part, you commit to the small, consistent actions, a little progress, daily wins. What is it what is it daily that you can do to make you take care of this process? Because you see, there are some things in your life in this creating this momentum that might cause some pain. And let me go ahead and say this, going back to the pastor who did the service of my friend Harold. He said, pain in life is yours to bear alone. Now, you may have some people to help you, or you may not. But there are times in life you will bear some pain. And going through this, creating the small steps, number one, can be very, very painful sometimes. But you can make it through it. He also talked about stop hiding things from the world. There's so many people, there are things that we all hide from the world. And be thankful for the people that show up for us, that show up to help us. And part of your creating the momentum, committing to small things, number one, start digesting little things that's going to be positive for you. Reading more positive books. Being around positive people is a small adjustment you can make. Because if you hang around negative people, guess what you will be? Yes, absolutely negative. So I need you to focus on that and create that momentum to keep going, to keep pushing and never get up. Let a little progress every single day as you take a look at it and reassess what I did. Am I reading the book daily? Do I have a motivational book to read? I told you about several of them. Think and Grow Rich. That's a powerful book. And by the way, when you have powerful books, do not just read them one time. I read it one time. How many times have you seen a movie over and over again that you really like? And the second time you see something in the movie that you missed the first time, reread the book is what I'm telling you. Reread it, and find out, whatever it is. It may be the Bible for you. Hello, start in Proverbs, start somewhere. And just my point, a little bit each day, little pieces. And it's like a puzzle. You may have 20,000 pieces or 1,000 pieces, but each piece is valuable and you need each small piece being consistent. And that helps you to get a little progress every single day. And it compounds into a strong finish. Strong finish. It is so powerful to have that strong finish and not make excuses. Don't sit back and saying, I could have, should have, would have. I wish I hadn't done this and I wish I hadn't done that. No. So if you're just listening, you're just joining in, this is the It's About You radio show, WDRB Media, the voice of the community. And we've been talking about 12 powerful ways to finish strong. How to finish strong. I'm applying this to the end of this year that you've been through 11 months. You're now in the 12th month, almost finished the year out, and you got plans for the future and all those kind of things. I need you to take a look at this year. We talked about number one, reconnect with your why. With your why. What is your reason? Your why. And then we said if your why is not large enough, if it doesn't make you cry, it is not large enough. We talked about break it down. Divide it, your remaining work into smaller, obtainable steps. This prevents being overwhelmed. We talked about number three, set a clear finish line. A clear finish line. Because if you don't know where you are going, how will you know when you have arrived? So you want to set a clear finish line. Number four, focus on progress, not perfection. Focus on progress, not perfection. And number five, prioritizing ruthlessness. Being, ruthless about what you're going to be doing. Eliminating or delegating distractions that don't push you forward to your end goal. Getting distracted by people, by things, and all the stuff that's blocking you. And sometimes we're our own worst enemy. And then, of course, create momentum with daily wins. That's where we are right now, creating that momentum with daily wins. Do you know what it's like to win daily? For example, changing the way I eat. Change the way you eat. Little wins daily. How many days did you go and you didn't load up on sugar? You didn't stop by the fast food places and eating all the foods. And, I just like those foods. And first and foremost, a lot of time it's not food. Hello, but that's another story. But at the end of the day, the small wins that I drank water instead of the soft drinks, instead of the sweet teas and all the calories, because my coach says it's the little things. Don't drink your calories. They're empty calories. There are people, you're drinking 5 Coca-Colas a day and no water. And now you wonder why you got health issues. Because it was the small little things. Or if you had instead of the large drinks, you bought the small ones. You bought the 4-ounce cans. You didn't buy the 2 liters and everything else that's there for you to drink, and buying a half gallon of ice cream, and you live alone. Guess what? You know what you're doing. You're setting yourself up. See, I'm telling you about me now. I had to make that change to cut the soft drinks out, to make the little changes that's there so I can create the momentum. Create that momentum. And that is important for you to start with daily successes, daily victories, small victories, and that makes large victories, a lot of small ones each day. The win. Am I getting enough sleep? Am I getting enough exercise? Am I walking every day? We drink water. We drink soft drinks. We do all these things every day. But do I get up and go walk? Or do I tell myself, I don't feel like it? Tell your feelings to go somewhere and sit down. Tell your feelings right now, I'm not talking to you. I don't need you right now. I need to set a new plan. I'm reassessing what I didn't do. I didn't exercise at all. Okay, so you realize now, and I'm not talking about the New Year's resolution, go to the gym Everybody sign up for the gym in January, and by February they quit. They don't go. So I'm not talking about don't sign up for a gym, just walk. And that's for free in your neighborhood. Half a mile out and half a mile back. I don't care how long it takes. That's 1 mile. If it's exercise you need to focus on, one step at a time to create that momentum. With that said, guys, we'll be right back. Take a break.
Did you know your gut is the gateway to your health? That's right, all diseases begin in the gut, but modern diets and stress can leave it out of balance. Introducing Love Biome, your all-natural solution for a healthier you. Love Biome is scientifically formulated to nourish and restore your gut microbiome with probiotics and postbiotics, all made from clean, natural organic ingredients sourced worldwide. No fillers, no chemicals, just pure wellness. Boost digestion, strengthen immunity, and feel more energized every day. Love Biome will balance and detoxify your gut. With Love Biome, you're not just supporting your gut, you're supporting a happier, healthier life. Go to mauricemcdonald.net to get started today. That's mauricemcdonald.net.
We're back, guys. We're back here on the It's About You radio show here on WDRB Media, the Voice of the Community. We've been talking about the 12 powerful ways to finish strong, finishing this year out strong. I left off there at my 6th point. My 7th point is to revisit and adjust your plan. If something isn't working, tweak your approach instead of abandoning your mission. Don't abandon the mission. Tweak the plan. You may be on the right path. You just need the adjustment. You might need to be around the right person who can help you to adjust that plan. Revisit and make adjustments. Don't throw it away. Number 8, visualize completion. Picture yourself achieving the goal. The mental image, the fuel, motivation, it sharpens your focus. Let me say that again. The mental image fuels motivation and sharpens the focus. Picture yourself achieving the goal. Visualize it. You see, everything starts twice. If you're sitting in a desk, or a chair at a desk, you see that chair or that desk that you are sitting at or sitting on was created twice. Well, actually, it was created 3 times. It was in the mind of the person who was developing it. It was on the blueprint on the paper, and then the actual creation of it. So my point is, visualize the completion. It was in your mind first. It was written down first. But that goes to another point. Write it down. Write your goals down. Write them down, and then complete them. You visualize the completion of that. Number 9, lean on accountability. Tell someone your goal or progress. External accountability helps sustain discipline, especially in the final stretch. You see, this is where you gotta be careful who you tell. Don't go tell somebody who's negative. Don't go tell your haters. I'm getting ready to go back to school. You ain't gonna go to school. No, don't go tell. Go do it, operate in silence, but have an accountability partner. Somebody's going to hold you accountable. Tell someone your goals or your progress and let them know what you're going to do, and they're going to hold you accountable. Number 10, refuel. Don't burn out. Take short rest breaks. Sleep well. Recharge your mind so you can finish with energy, not exhaustion. Some of you have been running on fumes because you're doing it the wrong way. Do it the right way. Get the momentum. Also, that way you're not exhausted, that you're operating from an area that is helping you to get sleep and rest and recharge. Now, sometimes you got to grind, burn the late night oils. You see, you cannot be accountable for your actions when you get distracted every time there's a concert. Every time a movie comes out, you got to go to it. Let's go to this party. We need to go over here. Let's go shopping. No, girl, let's go. No, you know you got a mission. You got to learn to say no respectfully. And no is a complete sentence. Put a period on it. Yes, that is important. So you need to don't burn out. Refuel. Don't burn out. Take short rests. Sleep well. Recharge your mind so you can finish with energy, not exhaustion, because it is not designed for you to be exhausted all the time. And sometimes because I'm not focused, I'm not laser focused on the things I need to do. Number 11, celebrate small milestones. You see, that is important. Reward each stage of the progress. Celebration keeps morale high. Should I say celebration keeps morale high and reinforces positive effort. Celebrate the small victories, the small milestones. Going back to the weight. Hey, listen, and I'm not hating on anybody who decides to go and want to lose weight fast. Listen, you did not put that weight on fast. You will not take it off fast. 1 pound a week, 1 pound at a time. You know, that person who struggled doing their homework in school. Hey, I did my homework 5 days this week. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a child that's not doing their work, help them to celebrate their small victories. Celebrating the small milestones, that is called the reward. Reward each stage of the progress to keep you laser focused. You're getting a little success at a time. That is important. And number 12, end with excellence. Push through the final steps with full attention and pride. Finishing strong builds momentum and confidence for the next challenge. Because when you finish this, that's the next point. Challenges keep coming. Well, people say, well, when do I arrive? You don't. As long as you're still breathing and kicking, you are still got opportunities to get better and better to the next challenge that comes. You keep pushing. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to know where you stand. I mean, I want to know where you stand. I hope this blessed you in some way. What I want you to do is to reach out to me. Go to mauricemcdonald.net. Reach out to me. Send me an email. There's a way to communicate with me through email in there. And you can reach out to me also by phone. You go in there, you'll see how you can get in touch with me. By all means, make sure that you follow me on the YouTube channel. It's About You Radio. It's about you. Reach out to me. Do that. Hey, listen, this has been an awesome, awesome show today. I hope I've said something to enlighten you or to bless you, to give you some time to think about some things. We want you to come back next week. Come back next week. We're starting a brand new year, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you next week on the It's About You radio show here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. I'm your host, Maurice McDonald, and we're going to be in the building.